pheasant shooting sob stories. Dan Thor picks a duff peg while Mrs. Thor cleans up next to him.
Hopefully he'll be happy that I've shot well and he could just live on that.
Why do reindeer click? We could have asked Father Christmas. Instead, Neil is in Swedish Lapland learning from the native Sami people about their relationship with this special deer. We find out about the 2004 hunting ban. How's that going for you, Tony Blair? Ryan Charlton has a new rifle scope to talk about. David brings you the news on the news stump. And James assembles the finest YouTube hunting films in this week's Hunting YouTube. Welcome to Fieldsports Britain. Dan Thor and his other half Shannon are at the Brent Pelham shoot in Hertfordshire, where Dan is a regular beater. It's a family day held in memory of Shannon's grandfather.
Sadly, he passed away during COVID, so we haven't really had the chance to sort of do the memorial shoot. So today's the day, and full of family and friends, and hopefully it's been a good day. So Gerald was a keen shot, a really good shot as well, so I'm sure he's up there looking down and he's going to give us plenty of stick throughout the day. First drive of the day, sun's behind us. Whether the birds are going to fly into that sun, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but the beaters are just starting now. They squeeze in from the left and the right, and then they bring a nice wood that is further back and squash it into the middle. So the birds, we should be on a decent peg here, which should be nice. Hopefully everyone along the line will get a bit of shooting. So all we can do is wait and see. So today just using the the old Trusky I said there, not trusty. Just using the old trusty Miracle today, the MK38 as always. I do like to change every now and then, but I'm trying to stick to this gun throughout the season this year. Shooting the Label Express, Ultimate Steel, Green Core. I think everybody should be moving to that now. It's just a 32-4. Reason for shooting a 32-4, I like, so when I'm shooting, obviously what I'm shooting at I want to kill. I don't want to wound anything, so yeah, like I say, these don't mess the birds up at all. They're pretty good, so as you'll see today, if we hit any, you'll be able to see how they work. But in my eyes, yeah, they're perfect for this kind of job. They're just as good as lead, really. We're on the second drive now, and we're back on number 10 from 2 years ago. So, yeah, hopefully we get a few white birds come to our left-hand side here, but we are shooting directly into the sun. But, yeah, normally this makes for a good drive. And here comes a lot of birds now coming out of the drive. Not coming towards us, though, James. They're going down that way. Last week it was freezing cold. It was like -4 last Saturday, through the week in the minuses, but we've now come towards the end of this weekend and, you know, we're pushing 10 to 13 degrees, which is really odd. It's almost like we're on a spring day again, but got the old trusty little tweeds on from Assos that I bought ages ago from a suit, and the trousers were too small, so I've decided to turn them into some shooting trousers. Yeah, and just some bits from Jack Pike, like the jumper and shirt, and obviously the little tiny little puffer jacket, the countryman's jacket, which is lovely. So, I mean, I don't normally trust the weather, but looking at the weather last night, it did say fog, and then it's going to clear to a nice day of sunshine. So, fingers crossed it doesn't rain, otherwise I'm going to be wet. If not, I'm going to nick your coat. See if it fits.
After a good first drive, Dan was out on a limb for drive 2, and now, after 11s, things aren't looking any better.
Been out of it. I've had a few shots there, but only at wide ones that the guns are having a crack at, really. But, you know, it's still nice to have a go at them. Yeah. But because the wind's pushing, they're sort of coming towards us and pushing out wide. But whether we shared a bird there next door, I'm not too sure, really. But there were some nice birds there, but, yeah, just following the contour of the ground, some of them.
Next drive, Dan is once again on the end of the line. As a regular beater here, he knows that in this wind, the birds won't be coming his way.
Yeah, I enjoy beating just as much as standing with a gun, to be honest. When I was young and I first started, that's all I did was a lot of beating and helping Dad, obviously, on the shoot and things like that. But as I got older, obviously, then I got behind the gun. But I still love getting stuck in and doing all the work like these boys and girls are doing out there today. Yeah, we're out of it again. That's I think we've had 6 shots all day so far, mate. 6 shots all day, but that's the luck of the draw, I guess. Like I say, I've picked the wrong peg through the day. I don't know what to say, really. Except, yeah, I suppose it was quite a good washing again.
For the last drive, Dan is out of it again. We abandon him and head for the middle of the line in the hope of seeing some action. Shannon is on the next peg, and it looks like she's in the hot seat.
You should have been stood next to Shannon, not Dan today.
Well, I think I should, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good drive. The best one.
Very well. Very well.
Finally connected and felt good on the last drive. Good.
Now, what sort of mood are we going to find Dan in?
I'm not sure. He hasn't had much shooting
he
today.
hasn't seen the result yet of...
Hopefully he'll be happy that I've shot well and he could just live on that.
not more than one.
I don't know though, yeah, I don't know.
We'll
He might
see.
be a bit grumpy in the bus. We'll see.
It did start well. I mean, the first drive, we had a couple of shots, 2 birds, which was fantastic. And then, yeah, from there, for me, personally, the day went downhill. But I get to watch Shannon shoot birds today, which I'm really proud of. And it's nice looking down the line, obviously, at my dad, Shannon's dad, and her uncle, and all the other lot just shooting birds. It has been a nice day, I've all admit. It has been a good day. Just not been lucky. Yeah, like I say, being amongst family and friends, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, three generations of my family were here today. Yeah. Obviously, sadly, my granddad wasn't. But yeah, it's good to still have my Uncle David out with us and everyone. So yeah, we're just happy to be out, really, to be honest.
We're very lucky to be able to do this. So.
But yeah, it was good and it was nice to end the day on a high. So yeah, it was fun, and I managed to steal one of my dad's birds as well and gave him a bit of a look.
That's what you're going to do.
You can follow Dan on Instagram, link below. For more about Lyle Vale Express cartridges, see lylevaleexpress.com. For Browning and Maruku guns, it's browning.eu. And for Jack Pike clothing, go to jackpike.co.uk. Thanks, Dan, and well shot, Shannon. Now, in this week's Fieldsports Extra, we have a festive Labrador, the 12-year-old son of a Fieldsports Nation member, and a Norwegian reindeer keeper.
They chase them for a long way, for a long time.
More on that Labrador. We asked the Fieldsports Nation to send us pictures of themselves going shooting and hunting in Christmas costumes, and that's the best so far. The same invitation to you, the wider Fieldsports Channel viewership. If you are all dressed up, that selfie now has somewhere to go. Send it to me, Charlie at fieldsportschannel.tv, and we will do a gallery on our day after Boxing Day show. Also in Fieldsports Extra, we gave away a Trespade TC8L Young electric mincer, kindly donated by Weschenfelder, and this week we're giving away a Wayne Martin HGH catapult from Caddyshack, his new design just in time for Christmas. And here he is.
This is a new design out this year, and been in with a chance to win one of these, the Hedgerow Goblet Hunter. Sign up for the Fieldsports Nation and obviously support the guys at Fieldsports Channel that support you.
Thanks, Wayne. And as he says, easiest way to win is to watch Fieldsports Extra, which goes out the night before this show, only to Fieldsports members. Easiest way to watch Fieldsports Extra is to join those members, the Fieldsports Nation, and we'll send you a goodie box. Link below, and a link to Wayne's website too, if you want to buy one of his catapults. Next up, kicking his can all over the place, it's the Freddie Mercury of the countryside, David on the Fieldsports Channel News Stump.
This is Fieldsports Channel News. There's more booking availability for guns this season than there's been for years. That's the conclusion of Guns on Pegs, which lists available pegs. The website says it has 787 days free until the end of January, which it describes as a lot for this time of year. Though some are at top-level shoots such as Chargot and Badminton, which are maintaining prices, pegs on some less well-known shoots are selling for £500 a day or less. The Welsh Government have been warned to ignore at its peril a public consultation on licensed game bird release. Basque confirms that Welsh Climate Change Minister Julie James has received its legal challenge. It is now waiting for a response from her. The minister is a former lawyer who describes herself as a green campaigner and environmentalist. The letter from Basque says the Welsh Government is ignoring 93% of a public consultation, which gathered 42,000 responses. It fears the Welsh Government is trying to ban shooting by preventing the release of birds without a licence. It's the government who would control the licensing process.
Anything like this is that government needs to take into account when it has a consultation process, that it actually listens and uses that consultation process to improve any ideas on legislation. So for us, it's a very big issue.
From this week, Britain's water companies could face bigger fines if they pollute the UK's waterways. The Westminster government has withdrawn the civil sanctions cap, which previously restricted the amount the companies could be fined to £250,000 for a single offence. The change means courts can now fine water companies who pollute tens of millions of pounds. The change in the law has also increased the scope of offences. Meanwhile, at least one water company says it is running out of money. Reported widely, the holding company that owns Thames Water has more than £1 billion of external debt and does not have the £190 million it is due to repay in April. Andrew Gilruth has been appointed as the new Chief Executive of the Moorland Association. The association, which represents grouse moor owners, has appointed Andrew to replace outgoing CEO Amanda Anderson. He is a conservation and moorland management expert who worked for the Game and Wildlife Conservation Trust for more than a decade. He says his role will include making sure the public understand the crucial role moorland communities play in safeguarding rural environments. Ireland's regional game councils have become the latest shooting organisations to mount a legal challenge against its government. The NARGC has challenged a ruling about 4 species of migratory duck that cannot be hunted in Ireland. The ban was introduced in August this year and covers scaup, pochard, goldeneye and pin-tailed ducks. All 4 species migrate to and from Ireland. In common with a similar campaign by duck hunters in Australia called #WeKnowWhereTheDucks the NARGC has told the Irish government that research leading to the ban was ill-informed and that it fails to take into account the economic implications of the ban. All recreational anglers in England could be allowed to fish for Atlantic bluefin tuna from next year. For the past 3 years in England, only those anglers fishing from boats specifically licensed and taking part in the CHART scientific study were allowed to target the giant fish. The fish were caught, tagged and then released as part of the study to monitor fish populations off the coast of Devon and Cornwall. Scientists confirm what boat captains have been saying for years, that there is evidence of a good population of bluefin patrolling the southwest coast of England. DEFRA now says that recreational angling will be allowed to help bring more tourists to coastal communities. The US government has announced plans to cull 500,000 owls. The barred owl is considered an invasive species in the Pacific Northwest of America. It is native to the US East Coast. The US Fish and Wildlife Service has called for 500,000 of the birds to be culled over the next 30 years to help protect other native species of owl. Barred owls are larger and more territorial than other species of owl and have forced the population of other species into decline. Thanks to Melissa Alves for the owl pictures. The world's largest sport fishing boat is taking a step nearer to completion. The report in the Sun newspaper says that the 171-foot boat, which is kitted out with 6 levels and outriggers to attach fishing lines, has left the Royal Huisman shipyard in the Netherlands to progress on to the next stage of the construction. It has 6 floors, including a sky lounge that offers what the boat builder describes as a theatre for watching big game fish leap out of the water. It's designed for marlin. And finally, how about this for a great rescue by a couple of shooters? This is a rare stone curlew found by shooters Dave Freeman and John Lowe when they stopped for a wee in a lay-by on their way back from a trip to Norfolk. The bird was lying rain-soaked in a pile of leaves, looking distressed. So Dave and his brother-in-law John rescued it. They took the bird home, allowed it to dry out and returned it to the spot where it was found a few hours later. 2 months after the rescue, identified by its ring, the bird was spotted again near the same spot with 2 healthy chicks in tow. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.
Thank you, David, and you can reward David for all his hard work this year by clicking like and subscribe below this film. Thank you. Next up, a word from AimCam. And if you would like to buy an AimCam, there's a link below. Next, while the world puts reindeer in lights on the fronts of their houses, in Sweden, the locals have to manage the real thing. Neil Rowntree finds out how to be a reindeer gamekeeper. Ever wondered how St. Nick really keeps his sleigh running? Here's a little bit of reindeer intel to help you inject some festive sparkle into your Christmas lunch conversation this year.
And when they walk on hard ground, it's like this, and then when they walk on soft, they spread out more. So it's like snowshoes.
Neil Rowntree, as we know, is fascinated by all things deer. He was keen to learn more about the bond between the indigenous Sami people of Swedish Lapland and reindeer, which he feels could mirror that of the ancient Celts with their red deer.
We made like a commitment back in the days, the Sami and the reindeers, that we would take care of each other. So the reindeers has taken care of us, giving us food and meat, and now we try to take care of the reindeers.
The problem is, in a modern world, a lot of people want to bring back, I think, this is my opinion,
yes.
They want to bring back wild nature, they say. They want to bring back natural ecosystem services. What they don't understand is that you and I are part of that.
Yes, we are.
And our culture and our spirit is attached to this animal.
Yes.
And we've only been successful because of them. And it's a big tragedy that now in many parts of the world, people think deer are a problem.
Yes.
Because we would never have succeeded without them.
No.
We used them as tools, we wore them as clothes. And we use them as a means of sustenance.
Yes.
And particularly where the Sami are, I think if there was no reindeer, there would be no Sami.
No. There will be no so much nature.
Absolute.
In Sweden, all reindeer are owned, but roam free to graze. Anna-Lena runs a reindeer centre in Överkalix. She has 30 reindeer in her herd. Among them, she hand-reared Petra and Hilda, and they are available for cuddles. It also means we can see and hear how they've evolved to live in the Arctic Circle.
They also have clicking sound in the back of the legs when they're walking, so they can hear each other when it's dark or foggy or snow.
No.
So we can hear when she's walking a bit. So they can recognize each other by the sound. The babies can follow their mother easily.
Incredible.
It's really fantastic.
Yeah, I learned.
Where's the noise coming from?
It's a ligament going back and forward over a bone.
Wow.
Yeah.
So.
Incredible.
Have you heard of that, Neil?
No, I've just learned something. I didn't. I thought maybe I'd heard them doing it, but I thought maybe it was to do with the claw, but it's not.
No, it's not.
No.
And they also have between the toes, back of the legs, they have like a, what you call it?
A scent gland. Yeah.
Gland, yes.
Yes.
With oil. So they put on the antlers.
Yeah.
To shape them.
Uh huh.
So they don't get so wide. They take the back of the bones, the back legs and press on the antlers like this.
Yep.
So when they lose them, they need to grow back again when the sun's coming, and they need to grow in really a short period.
128 days.
Okay.
Yep.
How much do they grow? In
Usually
24 hours?
2.5 centimeters of the full growth. Yeah,
I
yeah.
know that.
All cervidae are the same. They're phototrophic,
Oh, yes.
governed by light. I don't know about the reindeer, but the red deer, if they can't get the nutrition they need from the ground when the antlers are growing so quickly, they take it from their own bones.
I think so too.
Yeah, and they
don't know really, but
they have a technique in their stomach that they can manufacture calcium with potassium and manganese.
fantastic.
And they're an incredible thing. The thing that I think reindeer do it, red deer definitely do it. On the roof at the top of their mouth is a thing called a vomeronasal organ. This is like a laboratory in their head. So when you see the female lick the calf's backside, what she can do is she can detect from when it's past feces what it's minerally deficient for, and she can adjust her milk accordingly.
Okay.
And when she needs to, she'll select particular grazing so that she can find the nutrition that the baby needs.
Yes.
They
are fantastic.
Deer are an incredible animal.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in the winter the system like totally shut down.
Yes.
They don't grow anything, they eat less.
Yep.
Because if they eat more, it takes more energy to melt the
Yep.
food. And
One of the main things I wanted to do was come here to meet Sami and hear the story of your reindeer.
Okay.
And
that's my story.
It's important, though, but I think in your culture and in Celtic culture, storytelling is very important
Yes.
because it's how the young people learn.
For more from Annalena, visit carty.se, link in the description below. And remember, if you're listening out for Father Christmas, it's not just sleigh bells you'll be able to hear. Thanks Neil and all who took part in that. Now, a few weeks ago, the former head of the League Against Cruel Sports, Jim Barrington, and the journalist Charlie Pye-Smith launched a book they have been working on for a few years now, demonstrating that nearly 20 years on, Tony Blair's ban on hunting with hounds has not benefited foxes. Back in the summer, Jim spoke to me at the Cartagena Game Fair Theatre to explain more about that.
It's the one part of the hunting debate jigsaw puzzle, if you like, that no one seems to have bothered about. And that is, what has this law actually done to the animals concerned? The antis have not lifted a finger, they've not spent a penny trying to find out what's happened to those animals that they say they care about. And that's what Charlie and I have done for the last 18 months. And we're staggered by the findings. This is groundbreaking investigation into an act that has not only not achieved what it wanted to, i.e. improving animal welfare, it has done exactly the opposite. If anyone thinks the Hunting Act has improved animal welfare, they are deluded.
Thanks, Jim. Let's hope a new generation of politicians will not make the same mistakes. Let's hope. And you can watch the whole of that chat as a podcast. Link below. Now, German Precision Optics, or GPO, is only 8 years old, but it has successfully joined the ranks of the top optics manufacturers to come out of Germany. Ryan Charlton talks about the new GPO Spectra rifle scope.
So this is GPO's Spectra 1 scope. 7.5 by 50, fixed magnification, fixed parallax, with GPO's G4i illuminated reticle. The illumination controls on the left-hand side, and it's almost like an analog feel to it. There's no steps as we used to, which means that you can have it as dim or as bright as you would like it. The scope turrets are covered, and they adjust 1 centimetre at 100 metres. And the cool thing with these is they feature GPO's standard toolless turret reset system. So without tools, you can simply reset the dial on your turret, and you've got a reference as to where it was whilst keeping the turrets covered and safe from being clipped. 30mm tube. The lenses and coatings in here have been specially selected by GPO, so it gives you outstanding edge-to-edge clarity, excellent contrast, and with the illuminated reticle, it will maximise any opportunities at last light with class-leading light transmission as well. available in all good gun shops.
Next, from rifle scopes to the wider world of hunting and shooting on YouTube, brought to you by James Martington, it's Hunting YouTube.
Here's my pick of the hunting and shooting videos that caught my eye on YouTube this week. Let's start in the UK with this one from Nitro HV. Back in the spring, he's shooting hooded crows to protect livestock at lambing time, shooting from a hide with his 1.7 Hornet. He manages to get a bonus fox too. Here's some more targeted fox shooting with Malk of Fox Takers. He's out at first light with his 243 and an electronic caller, working his way through the menu of calls until one hits the spot. I've got to say I've seen better hides, but it does the job and he's home in time for breakfast. There's nothing quite like watching good dogs at work, and here's the latest from Rabbit Express. They're out in a chilly -1 degrees, ferreting a hedgerow with Suki and Blue. At the other end of the field sports scale, here's Dave Carey on a smart-driven shooting Cumbria, proving that the little 410 is up to the job on pheasants and partridges, if you can point it in the right direction. More quality shooting from our old friend Andy Crow, who's on a dairy farm in Kent. He uses a 12 bore to shoot crows from the hide, then switches to a silenced 410 and goes after the feral pigeons around the farm buildings. More crow shooting, this time in a city centre. You wouldn't get away with this in the streets of London, but apparently it's fine in the city of Klang in Malaysia. In fact, it's an official event organised by the City Council each year. Thanks to Martin Hanks for sending in that one. Meanwhile, the Safari Channel is in Bulgaria, stalking capercaillie in the forest, first with a rifle, then with a bow and arrow at night, which proves to be a real test of the hunter's skill. Finally this week, Alex Sayer interviews George Bowyer of the British Hound Sports Association, with some hard-hitting questions about the hunting practices that draw the most criticism from antis and the media. And I've got to say he handles them well. Whether the world is willing to listen is another matter. Well, that's it for this week. I've put all these films into a playlist for you. Click on the I symbol top right or check this film's description. If you have a YouTube film you'd like us to pop into the weekly top 8, email me the link, jamesm@fieldsportschannel.tv.
And that's it for this week. If you haven't done so already, please whiz over to our website, fieldsportschannel.tv. You can click to like us there on Facebook and on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter, subscribe to us on YouTube, pop your email address into our register page, and we'll contact you about this show. Fieldsports Britain is at 7 p.m. UK time every Wednesday. And this has been Fieldsports Britain. Good hunting, good shooting, good fishing, and goodbye.